Hi, everyone. I'm Federico. I'm the founder of Evmos. And today I'm going to present you Evmos 2.0 on the decentralized applications of the future. So my journey in Cosmos has been very long. I've been interacting with every one of you on the different projects that we can see today. I started my career as an intern building the first user interface for the ones that have been here since 2018. The project was called Voyager. I built a lot of components of the stack going from the Cosmos SDK. I participated in some improvements in Tendermint Core. I was core team of the Cosmos Hub and Gaia. And then I transitioned to IBC. In the past 2 years, I've been working on the infrastructure that is going to power the interoperable smart contracts of the next century. So we built a great piece of infrastructure and technology. Today, the common sentiment is that Evmos has a really great technology, but we need to make it resilient. We need to make it elastic and malleable to the different conditions of the network. And for that, today we're introducing Evmos 2.0. Evmos 2.0, and I haven't shared my vision of the Interchain with you guys so far, so I'm really excited to present this today. My vision for the Interchain is, and particularly for Evmos, is to build a financial infrastructure for the next century. The next century applications that are going to be powering every single user experience. And today, we're building the infrastructure layer that is going to power all these decentralized applications. So our goal at Evmos is to be able to deploy applications only once and use everywhere, completely forgetting the limitations of deploying multiple instances, and instead focusing on interoperability and composability use cases that are going to be creating new functionality for these smart contracts and decentralized applications. So we looked into this problem in terms of filters for adoption. So every single user, when they come to our ecosystem, they face different filters that they need to overcome in order to have a successful transaction. And we've categorized these into 4 main filters for this user adoption. The first one being onboarding. When you transfer a transaction via IBC and suddenly you don't have the native token, you can't really move from that unless you transfer the native token to be able to pay for the transaction fees. That's the main limitation right now that users are facing, particularly on Evmos. How do we engage with them and fix the onboarding user experience so that they can move to the next phase, which is like, OK, I have an intent of going to Evmos in the first place. Now we can start using and having all the utility that Evmos provides. Then we have liquidity and discoverability. Today I'm going to be focusing on the first 3 ones. So the main one is onboarding. And we're building unparalleled onboarding through our application by having a copilot that is going to be guiding the user in their onboarding journey so that within 5 minutes, they're able to successfully onboard from every ecosystem into Evmos and the Interchain. So the onboarding user experience is key for the user to start interacting with the decentralized applications or interacting with IBC or interacting with Cosmos altogether. If we don't fix onboarding, there's nothing else left because it's the first barrier and filter for the adoption of the users. So onboarding through Evmos from fiat or onboarding through different cryptocurrencies and different ecosystems is the main challenge that we need to face as an entire ecosystem, and particularly on Evmos, to be able to build this like next generation infrastructure. Then we've been working on utility, the utility of what is going to be powering all the decentralized applications in the next century, and the amazing applications that are going to be using all the interoperability components from IBC and compose with one another. So now I'm going to go deep dive in the components that we're building that are going to be creating this unmatched utility in the entire ecosystem. So we want to enable the next decentralized applications of the future, and this is exactly the pitch deck that Ethan Bachman was saying to their investors when they were raising for Cosmos. We don't know what types of applications are going to be created with this interoperability protocol or with this ecosystem altogether called Cosmos, but we know that there's going to be a huge demand for these interchain applications, and they're going to be able to talk to one another and compose with one another and build new use cases that we don't know today how they were. So this was back in 2015. So Evmos, in the same way, is going to enable the same application, the same functionality for decentralized application. So the first one, the integration. EVM Extensions is our newest functionality that is going to be powering seamless integration between Cosmos core functionality and EVM smart contracts. So how EVM Extensions work is that through a predefined address, a precompiled address, these smart contract applications can interact today with staking, accessing new functionalities for DeFi. They can interact via IBC and immediately access liquidity that is available across the ecosystem. We're also going to be introducing governance EVM extensions so that DAOs can directly vote on the protocol level governance components. So enabling that access for smart contracts is going to be powering new use cases. The second one is composability. This unparalleled utility that's going to be powering new use cases for the entire ecosystem is going to be given via these outposts, Cosmos outposts, Ethereum outposts, etc. So this is the Osmosis DEX outpost that we're building. And notice a slight difference here in the corner. You're using an Evmos address for the same user interface. So you can directly onboard to Osmosis and every single interchain application via EVM wallets. So right now, if we think about it, the major limitation for this entire ecosystem and the maximum number of users that we can access is limited by how many users are interacting with Kepler today. If we're opening those borders, they're going to be able to access all the interchain applications through MetaMask and any other EVM-compatible wallet, including Wallet Connect. So enabling this functionality is going to access a whole lot more of utility for everyone. And how it works, we built an innovative design that basically allows any smart contracts to interact with this EVM extension through this outpost and provide liquidity or swap tokens directly with a different set of instructions, send over the token, perform the action on Osmosis, send it back to Evmos, and the smart contracts or the user will have the newly available token. Instead of sending 3 transactions for that, it's only a single transaction using a completely different wallet and only one single account. So you can abstract all the user experience into one single transaction and enable smart contracts to access liquidity that is not available on the Evmos chain right now. And this will happen with all the other smart contract applications. So this is now live on mainnet. We've been building a few use cases that are interacting through our EVM extensions. But soon we're going to be abstracting it, making it easier for smart contracts today to access this outpost functionality and access all the liquidity and functionality that is available in the entire interchain ecosystem. The next innovation is dynamic IBC. So a major limitation today when we have the interchain stack for IBC that I was able to participate as a core engineer. So there's different layers for the core protocol that involve clients, connections, and channels that are part of the core primitives of IBC. But as a smart contract developer, you don't want to know how to build a channel, how to be able to call the IBC callbacks. All those components are really complicated and very technical for a developer that is coming from a completely different ecosystem. So how are we able to abstract all those primitives away from the development layer, in this case a smart contract application, and be able only to focus on what's the data that is being sent over to the destination chain? And so that's when dynamic IBC comes, is that it's a wrapper around the core component of IBC, the channels, connections, and clients, so that you're able to effectively onboard the entire Ethereum ecosystem into the entire Interchain. So today, we're saying welcome Ethereum developers to the Interchain by abstracting all the IBC functionality and only having them to define what's the data that they're going to be sending. And this is massive for the Interchain ecosystem, because now they can build a whole new set of IBC applications for the Interchain that is going to be increasing the development cycles, is going to bring way more innovation, and they're going to be interfacing not only with smart contracts, but also with layer ones and application-specific blockchain in the ecosystem. So this is onboarding an entire, the largest development mindshare in the entire blockchain ecosystem to the Cosmos by abstracting the IBC components. And the next one is, and the final one in terms of utility that is going to be powering the decentralized applications of the future, is how to experiment, how to build new use cases besides the interoperability ones that I just mentioned. So EIPs is a Ethereum Improvement Proposal standards that live on Ethereum. So today there's like a massive need for onboarding new primitives into a new EIPs into new layer 2s and new EVM chains. There are more than 150 EVM chains. Not all of them are integrating these EIPs that developers desperately want but can access because of the slow development cycles of Go Ethereum. So there needs to be a space for innovation. There needs to be a space for them to be able to develop new account abstraction models, new elliptic curves, a new functionality that they're required to build the next generation applications, the decentralized applications of the future. So today we're introducing Evmos as the Ethereum Canary Chain. Evmos 2.0 will become the Ethereum Canary Chain by implementing most of the EIPs that developers truly want and being able to hook them up with interchain IBC composability and interoperability. Ethereum will be welcomed by the entire interchain ecosystem through Evmos. The next major limitation that I mentioned was, besides onboarding and utility, is the fact that today liquidity is completely fractionalized and spread across the entire ecosystem. So even though you might have one single token, that token today is available on Osmosis, on Stride, it's available on a liquidity pool on Evmos. So the problem right now is that we're, the total value locked metric, the TVL, only represents the amount of tokens that are currently available in one single chain, when in reality they're completely spread out. So today, we're introducing the total reachable liquidity. How much liquidity can you access from a single chain or from a single smart contract in the entire ecosystem? And this, we believe, is a new metric that is going to be powering the entire liquidity ecosystem and going to make the entire Osmosis ecosystem, Stride, etc. So how can we enable these decentralized applications to access more liquidity for their needs? And as part of this, we're introducing omni liquidity. All the liquidity that is available in the ecosystem now suddenly available via Evmos 2.0 through the Outpost, EVM Extensions, and dynamic IBC. That's the new liquidity standard that we want for the next generation applications of the future. Omni liquidity is a new narrative, is the next narrative for how to access all the liquidity that is available. TVL is gone. TVL is 2020. Let's look forward in terms of how liquidity is going to be accessed by all these decentralized applications. And as part of this Evmos 2.0, and why Evmos 2.0 is different, is our leadership team. Our leadership team is going to be able to take on these responsibilities and take Evmos and decentralized applications and these financial applications that we're building to the next level. Please welcome the team, and it's time to build. It's time to build products. We built the entire infrastructure, and now it's time to build products that are interacting with this infrastructure layer that we built for so long. So thank you very much, and looking forward to be working with you.